Okay, so in lesson 17, we're going to continue to work with division with fractions. So it's asking us for each set of quantities below, do the following. Write a story problem, and B, draw a diagram to determine the answer and determine whether your story is a measurement / repeated subtraction problem or a partitioning / equal sharing problem. So in number 1, we're being given 2.5 divided by 3, and we have to use people in kilograms of grapefruits. So I could say that Q has 2.5 kilograms of grapefruit. It's division, so we could say that he wants to divvy equally between / among his 3 friends. How many kilograms of grapes will each friend get? Or will each friend receive? Solve this problem by drawing a diagram so we can choose whichever one we want. That shows the meaning of this division problem. So I'm going to show a discrete one. So let's say that this, right, is 1 BMU, which means that one of these is equal to, let's just say one circle is a BMU. And that half a circle, see, with a discrete model, to show a half, you've got to cut your circle. So that's half BMU. So we got 1, 2, and then we got a half. Okay, so if I want to split this amongst 3 people, I can take my 1 BMU and split it. That's a third, that's a third, that's a third, right? So each person gets 1/3 kilogram from this. Do the same thing here. That's a third, that's a third, that's a third. Each person gets another 1/3 kilogram. And now I need to split this, right? This is a half BMU. So what happens when I take a half and I split it into 3 equal parts? These are 1/6. Right? 1/3 of 1/2 is 1/6. So each person gets a third plus a third plus a 6. We know that, right? 1/3 is 2 times larger than 1/6, or in other words, there's 2 6 in this. So 2 6, 2 6, and 2 6, 1 6, make 5 6 altogether. So each friend will get 5 6 kilograms of grapes. So just to go over that, 1 circle is my BMU. Half of a circle, this is supposed to look like a D. Half of a circle is half a BMU. So I have 2.5, right? 1, 2.5. I can take 1 BMU and split it into thirds. Each person gets a third. Take the other BMU, split it into a third. Each person gets a third. And take my half BMU and split it into thirds, and each person gets 1/6. There are 2 6 and 1/3. So 2 6 plus 2 6 plus 1 6 is 5 6. So each friend is going to get 5 6 kilograms of grapes. Is this story a measurement or repeated subtraction problem or partitioning / equal sharing problem, right? Obviously, it is the latter. We're equally sharing those 2.5 kilograms of grapes equally amongst our 3 friends. But we can also say, right, it's partitioning or equal sharing, right? We know the number of groups Remember, this is extremely important, right? 3 groups, we had 3 friends, but we didn't know the size. We didn't know how much each person would get. So the size was unknown. Good. And last but not least, it's asking us what is the missing factor equation. So the missing factor equation is a multiplication equation that corresponds to each meaning. And it's written depending on the type of division problem that we're working with. So because this is a partitioning problem, it needs to look like this, and it might be worth memorizing this because you'll see it later. So notice that's what's missing is the size. So in a partitioning missing factor equation or division problem, it's the size that's missing. The number of groups is known, the whole is known, the size is unknown. So 3 times blank equals 2.5 is the missing factor equation. All right. Write a story problem using these quantities. So we have 2.5 divided by 5/6. We could say every medium salad, teaspoons of olive oil. So every medium salad should get 5/6 teaspoons of olive oil. How many medium salads will get the proper amount if the kitchen only has 2.5 teaspoons of olive oil. So you can already see the difference with this one, right? We have the size here. The size is 5/6 teaspoons. And we want to find out how many groups of 5/6 can we get out of 2.5, or how many, right, salads are going to receive that amount of olive oil. So it says draw a diagram. I am going to draw an area one this time. They're not telling us which one to draw, but I don't want you to think that you only have to draw a discrete one. It does make it easy depending on the problem though. So this will be our BMU, which means this is 1/6. This 3/6 is going to be a half, right? And now we can go ahead. So we got 2.5 teaspoons of olive oil. That's 1 BMU. That's 2 BMUs. And half would be 3/6, right? So that's 2.5. We want to make sure that we label that. And we are looking for what? 5/6. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's one group. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's another group. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's our last group. There's no more 6. So we've got 3 groups. Okay, so 3 medium salads. You can write a gigantic 1 here, a 2 there, a 3 there. So 3 medium salads will get the proper amount of olive oil. this is obviously a repeated subtraction problem, right? We could have done 2.5 minus 5/6 minus 5/6 minus 5/6 until we reached 0. But more importantly, the size was known. The number of groups was unknown. And what is the missing factor equation? We're missing the number of groups, right? So for a repeated subtraction, it should be written this way. Okay, the number of groups comes first. 5/6 is the size, and this is the whole. All right, moving on. So we're gonna do 3 of these in class, and we're gonna do 3 right now. So let's do the first 3. For each problem below, write the division sentence that would solve the problem and state the quantity repeatedly subtracted. Then draw a diagram, linear, area, discrete, to illustrate the division and provide the solution. Okay, so Dr. Ruiz has 2.5 kilograms of hydrochloric acid in her lab. Each experiment that she conducts, she uses 5/16 kilograms. How many experiments can she conduct? So obviously, this is going to be a repeated subtraction type. Why is it a repeated subtraction type? Well, they're telling us so much information, right? We're being given the size right here. We're being given the whole, and we want to know how many experiments she can conduct, or in other words, the number of groups. So let's go for it. First off, let's take a look at the number sentence with and without units. So we're going to have 2.5 divided by 5/6. And again, 2.5 divided by 5/6. Now, you can do this using a BMU of 2/2. I'm going to draw a discrete model. So my BMU, I'm just going to start with 16ths. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And that's going to be my BMU. Okay, which means that one of these equals 1/16, which means that 8 is 1/2, and now I should be ready to go. So and this is 5/16. This is the quantity that's repeatedly subtracted. So now I need to draw a 2.5, and then I need to find groups of 5/16. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. That's one BMU. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. That's 2 BMUs. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's a half BMU. So this is 2.5. Notice how I labeled that. And now I can go ahead and I can circle groups of 5/16. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 2 groups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 6 groups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many groups do I have altogether? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So she can conduct 8 experiments. Okay, and then last but not least, you are being asked for the missing factor equation. So what is missing here? Is the size missing, or is it the number of groups? It's the number of groups that's missing. So and there you have it. Okay, so there you go. Next, Tyra has 3 3/4 cups of flour. Every loaf of bread calls for 3/8 cups of flour. How many loaves of bread can Tyra make? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let that be our BMU, which means this is 1/8. This is 1/4. And this is 3/8. I'm going to label this as, right, that's what's being repeatedly subtracted, which means our story problem type, you guessed it, is repeated subtraction. And you want 3 3/4 cups divided by 3/8 cups, or 3 3/4 divided by 3/8. You have the same type of problem, so the missing factor equation is going to be written the same way. All right, so we need to draw 3 3/4. That's 1 BMU, 2, 3, and last but not least 3/4. Label it, and we're looking for groups of 3/8, and each of these is an eighth. So that's 3/8, that's 3/8. We're going to keep doing that until we can't. And it looks like we got an even amount. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So Tyra can make 10 loaves of bread. All right, I'm gonna do one more and then we'll stop. Shania had 5 1/3 feet of licorice. She cut it into pieces that were 2/3 feet long. How many did she make? For this one, maybe you can pause it, solve it, and then skip to the end and see if you get the same thing that I do. This time though, I'm going to use an area model. You don't always have to use a discrete model. So this time, this will be our BMU. Which means this is 1/3. Okay, so we got 5 1/3. If you drew them all together, that's fine as well. And that's 1/3. And we need to find groups of 2/3, right? I should draw that. That's the amount that's being repeatedly subtracted. Okay, so now groups of 2/3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. She made 8 pieces. All right, so the rest we will continue in class. If you have any questions, just send me a message and we'll pick it up from there.